I've heard this question phrased a number of different ways, and it's consistently asked, it's consistently brought forward. Did Jesus have to be Jewish? Yes, 100%. Let me tell you why. The question at the surface may seem innocent. Why couldn't Jesus just come to America, to Asia? Whenever God writes a story, he gives proofs of the social nature for humanity because he has to relate to the people in a different time, a different place. That's how they are going to communicate and understand him. And God did choose a nation, or more accurately, a family, in Abraham's family. And the story of him and his progeny are historic because there's a cosmic element to their interactions. Tests of extreme faith from the high God, wrestling divine beings, standing against world powers. This all happened in the first two books of Scripture. Israel is such an oddity, and the Jews with it, because God put a people in the middle of the earth with an intent on them being set apart, different. No, it wasn't easy. God built a people directly in the middle of a developing world map for that reason, that everyone would need to interact with the people of God and be challenged by their faith. This is why the temple had a court for the Gentiles, so they could see the show. The act of God's people worshiping and being made atoned for. And we know there were many proselytes who underwent conversion to Judaism because of this. This worked in their day. People were converting to Judaism because they saw the story and God's people playing it out. So then to the question of Jesus, yes, he ties all these threads together. With a synagogue system that has been dispersed in the larger world by various overthrows of the nations, we now have people with a shared history of God's people in all the major regions of the world, all those that the Bible itself recognizes as these nations that had been predetermined for the powers that would preside. Now we see Jesus, a Jewish teacher with significant knowledge of Roman and Greek culture, philosophy, politics, religion. We don't often consider this. And while still speaking to a predominantly Jewish audience, he's preparing followers who will spread across the map. And many didn't even realize it yet. It was a perfectly orchestrated thing. All of this was to spearhead God's own insertion into humanity. Jesus, Son of God, entering amidst Roman colonnades, many of which depict their lords as sons of gods or gods themselves. All of this incredibly intentional for God's family growing into an international expression of faith. So, hope that answers the question. Yes, he really had to be.